All right, Minister of Fun back online. Let's go in and let's hear from our CEO of At Cost Metals. But I wanted you guys to hear from this gentleman's heart. Let's get Mr. JD, the CEO, current CEO of At Cost Metals.
And another thing I'll say about gold and silver, it is the only currency that has never gone to zero. Every single fiat currency that's ever existed has gone to zero. So we actually, as smart investors, we have an obligation to collect gold and silver. We get gold and silver delivered to us. All right. In addition to that, we can buy as much as we want at cost. Now, being able to buy it at cost and simply paying a membership fee for that privilege is way better than paying a premium every time you want to buy gold and silver, because I plan to buy a whole lot of it. And if I can just pay a membership fee, same as you're going to pay, and buy as much as I want whenever I want, I like that. I like that a lot.
A lot of the questions that we get, obviously, is it really at cost? Well, when you say yes, it is, they say, well, you must be making your money on shipping. And then you say, no, that's at cost too. And then they say, how do you profit as a company? And very simply, we interface with the largest companies in the world that deal in precious metals. And through technology, through API connections and sophisticated software, when our customers order, we place the order. It's locked in, and then it's shipped. So it's a very streamlined process. I hope I'm not giving away too many secrets, but the fact that we've got at costmetals.com in the year 2023 is really a testament to the number of people that wanted to actually sell it at cost. So,
Justin, so are you saying that the metals that we will order through your company are drop shipped directly from the producer?
Well, not from the producers. The producers would be like the U.S. Mint, the Royal Canadian Mint, Perth Mint, and then there are a select number of very specific companies that purchase from them. Not only do they purchase, but they're actually required to purchase because, example, U.S. Mint is not in the business of retailing to the public. You can buy from them, but I highly recommend against it because it's extremely expensive compared to the rest of the world. So not just us, but literally everywhere sells at less than a mint because that's not their business. They produce it, they ship it out, they distribute it, and from there, those companies in turn ship it out to a lot of companies that you'll see online, big normal companies, and then sometimes those companies will send it out to other dealers and retailers. But we go direct to that source. So that first group, that first set of companies that purchase direct from the mint, that's who we buy from.
Gotcha. And is it drop shipped, or are you warehousing gold and silver?
Majority of everything will be drop shipped.
I like that. Yeah.
So they're not really in the business of sending out 1, 2, 3 coins. So we'll take care of things like that. Gold's a different story, but by and large, they will be doing all of the drop shipping and managing the vault, et cetera. So our job as a company is to interface and to bring customers. And then my job specifically is to make sure all of that happens and manage the networks that our affiliates are representing our story correctly and, pitching, promoting our story of at cost metals so that everybody wins.
Then, so when I look at a company to get involved with, one of the things that I look for when I'm analyzing or trying to decide is, what is the key component to this business? What is the key ingredient that makes it work? And in this case, I think that you could say it is the relationships that you have with the suppliers that is the key component. And not every Tom, Dick, and Harry on the street can just walk in and get that kind of a relationship. Would you say that that's an accurate statement?
Well, yes, that's a definite statement. So to get this kind of relationship, you first have to buy in bulk already, and to integrate is another step, and then the vault and all of that is actually another step. So I've spent most of my adult life, even as early as a teenager, buying precious metals, and it's just such a good thing to own. In times like this, it's even better to own. And when you combine that with networking, I take vitamins, but I like the inexpensive vitamins. The stuff you could buy on the shelf on the local drugstore. So if you combine a product and networking, it really should have permanent value. So for all of those reasons, that's why I think that at cost metals is unique. It's a great product to be garage qualified for, of course, but it's better to offer a product that bona fide actual customers say, yes, I'm in, I want that, because everything goes much more smoothly. Well, I started selling precious metals in a network marketing company when I was 32. We sold a lot of metal. Started at the bottom, little shots here and there, buying all the metal that I could, and worked my way up to, or our way, because it was definitely a team effort, to selling a lot, $1 million orders. And, that opens up doors. It opens up different vendors. And, that first venture was extremely smooth for many years. And right at the end, it turned into something that was just a lot. We had a lot of money flowing in and out for metals. Even at that time, it was so much that banking relationships were like, you do $1 million in, $1 million out the same day. There's nothing for us, and that really kind of turned to a risk for them, according to them. My father was a master distributor of that first company. He got sick, he died, and I was on hormone therapy because I was overworked, happily overworked, but definitely overworked. And, they're giving me scans for tumors and brain cancer and all kinds of stuff. And I just ended up being just overworked. So that, I have the next part of that story, I try to explain very delicately. And originally, I think, in my opinion, it was just a continuation of the idea of at-cost metals, from the previous company. The at-cost portion of it, meaning metals at cost, stayed for a while, and then it wasn't. And I'm not walking on eggshells, but I'm not trying to start a war either. The original concept there doesn't really exist anymore at that company. Okay, so what I had always hoped and envisioned in my heart is what we're doing at Cost Metals. So, I don't know how to do that. We've got a great comp plan, and our precious metals are at cost. And I think, they've got a tremendous, loyal group as a big portion of their following, their customer base, and that's great. I just want to sell precious metals at a better price, and we do it at cost.
And how lucrative, introducing others to gold and silver would be, or could be, for them.
Sure. Well, I can tell you emphatically, the greatest thing to ever happen to network marketing is technology, period, by far. So, when networking was invented, and the affiliate program or compensation plans, when all that was invented, it was just a nightmare. I mean, you were doing accounting, you weren't necessarily an accountant, et cetera. So the advantage to doing a network marketing company is, one, the company gets to pay specifically and exclusively for sales that occur, instead of just throwing everything against the wall, like what was done in the 70s, 80s, 90s. It's more targeted. And then the evolution of affiliate programs is, hey, if something gets sold, who's the person that sold it? And then they get a portion of it. And that's a beautiful thing. So as a company, effectively, our marketing is 100% affiliates, just like, Amazon, their affiliate marketing. Walmart has affiliate marketing. Your dentist has an affiliate program. Refer a friend, free teeth cleaning, and that's the way business is done.
What would be the thing? What would be the thing that would cause your company to maybe have difficulty surviving? And what do you have built in that is going to allow this company to survive long term, so that we can really get behind you and believe that this is going to be around in 5 and 10 years?
Sure. And I like to set my targets a little more long range than 10 years even. So when I think about threats to the company, one obviously is, I think it's a real possibility that if things get worse with wars and inflation, banking, the digital currencies that we're all, not crypto, I'm talking about US dollars and normal everyday currency, all of those come to head in a perfect storm, then the real possibility that people that have a mindset of protection and future and tangible assets really do just a mass adoption where the entire world is just says, I need silver no matter what. And we run out. So we can't dig it up out of the ground fast enough. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, when we have the technology like at Cost Metals, and it's opened up to such a massive audience globally, then the vendors globally, all the mints, all the the purchasers from the mints and retailers, even it runs out. People hoard it, and it creates a shortage where you can deliver it because it doesn't exist for you to buy it. And that's happened a few times in history. The U.S. Mint says, "Hey, we're back ordered. We're waiting on blanks." Here's a note from the mining companies. They're expecting this, and that puts us at 5 weeks for delivery, 6 weeks for delivery. So that's an issue too. The good news is everybody's in preparation and taking that into consideration, because it's actually the law that here, specifically in the U.S. Mint has to produce enough to meet public demand. So even if we run out, it's not like they just throw their hands in the air and say, "Well, we tried." They've got to keep buying it. They've got to keep producing it to meet public demand. So that's really more of a temporary. And then, of course, the big one would be, a government. And I'm not, picking on the U.S. government, but a government says the citizens are no longer allowed to own precious metals, and that's happened before. That has definitely happened before. So those are the biggest threats, to our company, in my opinion. Technology, banking, management, definitely wisdom are all way more in our favor today as a company. Strategic partnerships, management, all of those things. It's definitely a new chapter in the story of buying precious metals, not only at a discount, but actually at cost. So, I don't really know what else to say about that. I probably answer specific questions, but believe me when I tell you this, that I wake up in the morning and I go to bed at night exhausted because I've worked all day. For the future of my legacy, I want it to be good. The people that I help in this company as customers, I want their experience to be perfect. Our affiliates, get their checks on time, make sure they're accurate, make sure it's a fair compensation, be honest, be straightforward. If you come in as a customer without the mindset at all of being a networker, that's okay. That's great. If you like the product that you receive, if you got the best price and you got it on time, consider telling someone about it. That's all we ask. And I'll just say, I'll take my idea of At Cost Metals, not our company name, but the idea of At Cost Metals, because I was the first in the entire world to do it. And it is coming. It is happening, and we are doing it. And I wish everybody that is not part of our company, I wish them the best. I wish them a perfect life. I hope everything's happy for them. I hope their business goes swimmingly. I've had countless conversations in the past few weeks with people from my past that will not be joining us that are extremely excited for me. Okay.
Well, there's another a moment where you have sort of tied yourself in knots in an attempt to not say anything negative about any relationships that you've had in the past, and I really appreciate that, Justin.